it's Natasha from Polished Inside and Out. I'm just going to go through our chair class, give you a little bit of details about that. So I came up with my Pilates chair class because I work at Daisy Haye, and at Daisy Haye a lot of people can't actually get down on the floor. Maybe they've had knee replacements, maybe they're just not strong enough to get down on the floor. So the chair really helps them because you can sit if you're feeling unstable, if you've lost your balance quite a lot. You can also stand but also hold on to the chair, which is really useful. So we can do things whilst holding on, and then you can start coming away from the chair into standing as well. And we do a mixture of both. So in my classes, the first thing we do is we start making sure that our posture is correct. So for me, I'm small, I have to have blocks for my chair, but it depends on how tight your chair is. You might have a low chair, so you don't need the blocks. So you might find really tall people, their knees are above their hip, which isn't good, because then this is always tight, the hip flexor in here, that hip joint. So your knees should be just at a slight angle down from your hip, so you can see my heels don't touch the floor. So we just check the posture is right. So if you're tall, we might make you sit on blocks. If you're small, you might have to stand on blocks, and lots of various things there. So we check all the postures correct. Some people can't even sit away from the chair, that they've put their full weight on the back of the chair. So we check all these sorts of things, how they can sit, if they need support with certain equipment. We've got pillows and things underneath here. And then once we get you used to your postural alignment, we do our ABC, which is alignment, then breathing through the lungs and breath, and how to sit to breathe as well, to get the best out of your lungs and posture and breath. And then we do our pelvic floor exercise as well, which a lot of people have heard of, but really good for you. And we check that pelvic floor is on and supporting us. Then we start our warm up, so we might be doing foot pedals, things like that, arms out, stretching up. We use things like the ball to pass around. And we try and warm up every joint in the body, and that's the point of the warm up, is just to get the synovial fluid, which is the fluid between the joints, warmed up. We produce more fluid, and then the joints can move better. That's what the warming up is. Once we've warmed up, we might do warm up in standing and seated. So we might do, say, 10 minutes on the seat, and then we might do 10 minutes in standing. If people can only stand or they can only sit, because some people, they can't sit for very long because their backs start to hurt because they're sat and where they're at a right angle at the hips, so they need to stand up and stretch. So we'll have various people, some people in wheelchairs, so they stay in the chair obviously the whole time, and they bring their own chair as well. One of my clients wants a discount for that, he says, because he brings his own chair. But you can do it in either or. So if we're doing things like marching, you could do it in seated, you can also do it in standing, but you can also hold on to the chair and do it as well for balance. So this is really good to get mobility. We also do flexibility and stretching, and we do core strength movements, moving the body in different positions to help strengthen the core. Just sitting up on the chair without using a support really helps you. We do things like sit to stand, which we do build up to, where we're trying to stand up and stretch up and sit back down. So they're really good, because a lot of people find they have to use their arms to push up off the chair. And then they lose their leg strength and their core strength. So to sit up out of the chair, you need good core strength, and you need good balance as well, and your posture needs to be right. So I get a lot of clients, their feet are too far in front, then they slouch back, they sit back in the chair, their feet are in front, and even I have to kind of lunge and get myself up. Or they tuck their feet under, that's another one, and then your knees are getting all the pressure and your back. So you need to make sure your feet are underneath your knees, and then you can stand up correctly, and hopefully then build your leg strength, build your core strength, and then you don't need to use your arms to get up. And then you might even be able to build up to getting up off the floor and things like that. A lot of my clients have to get up and climb up onto something to get up, and that's absolutely fine. We have lots of padding as well when we're on the floor, if you fancy doing that floor class. But the chair class we do on the chair, in standing, or holding on, or you can do a bit of whatever you need to do. So you might be sitting for the first few months, and then you might try and stand by holding onto the chair. You might be able to do one exercise in standing but the other one in seated, and we can do most exercises in both. So we just find out what suits you. And then we do the moves, so things like the seated C curve, where we're moving the spine and mobilising the spine. We might also do swan dive, which is lifting the chest, trying to lift up from the chest to get us better in our postural lungs and breathing, which is really good for anyone with like COPD, asthma, things like that, so any breathing problems. And then we'll also do things like in standing, I showed you the sit to stand as well, in the chair, marching, things like we're passing the ball around. And you don't have to buy loads of equipment or anything. You can find just books to put your feet on or sit on. You can choose different chairs from the house. I get a lot of people that have moved around the house and choose different areas to work out in. And then we have things like balls that we can pass around, but you can just use a remote. I don't know where my TV remote is. There it is. So you can just use your TV remote and just pass that around above and below. And that's just getting your movement in the arms. If you're not allowed to put your arms above your head because you've got things like, or you're on oxygen, you can just do it less high. You don't have to do it as high. So there's lots of different movements. And then we start to build up to do things like our 2 minutes. So a lot of my people, they've been going for quite a while now, and they're building up for 2 minutes. So they'll be building up to do the sit to stand for actually 2 minutes, and we have a timer, so there's a little timer here that times us, and then we'll do that for 2 minutes, but that will be built up. So we start off, I check that you can do the exercise, then you can do 4 exercises, then 10, then 20, then let's do a minute, then let's do a minute and a half, and everybody in the class can maybe do different times depending on their ability and fitness on the day, and it changes. One week you think you're amazing, oh, I've got it all, and then the next week you haven't had a good night's sleep, and then you can't do it as well. So it doesn't matter, we change it to suit what you are on the day. And then we do a cool down at the end where we stretch things like the hamstrings, the calves, things like that for stretching at the end. And it's about a 45-minute class with the warm-up and the exercises in various positions, and then the stretches at the end. And obviously at the start we're doing our posture, alignment, breathing and centralisation and all of that, but you'll learn that in the class. So that's just a little bit about my chair classes, because lots of people ask about them. The main thing is, it isn't as easy as it sounds. You think chair class for older people. I've had some of my younger clients actually come to it because they thought it would be easier, and they actually found it quite hard, because sitting is the hardest position you can be in. So in Pilates we do 6 different positions. We can lie on our side, we can lie on our back, on our front, we can stand, we can do 4-point kneeling, or we can sit. The actual hardest neutral, that position is sitting up tall, is the hardest. So actually that's why a lot of people need to stand up and move, stack the weight up correctly, and it's easier for the body than in a seated position where we're at this right angle. So it is quite difficult. It strengthens definitely upper body as well, which is fantastic, and it just helps with posture, breathing, alignment, mobility, flexibility, strength, loads of things. It's a really good class. A lot of people obviously that maybe are the age group that does this class are worried about the computer side of things, because they might not even have one. I've had one lady, she was really upset she couldn't do it, and her son has set up, her phone attaches to the TV and she can do it. So now we've been in this situation that we're in at the moment with COVID for about, it's March, it's nearly a year, well, 7, 8 months now, isn't it? No, even more, about 9, isn't it, if it's March. So we might have started trying to experiment and use these things. So we just need, you can have a phone, some people do it off that. I have a headset which you can see, so it is quite clear and loud, so you don't have to worry about that. You can change the volume on me as well. So I'm using my phone at the moment to record this, but I then have my laptop which you can see me on it there, and then I had a huge TV screen, so that's just showing me at the moment. Hi guys! So with that I can see what you're doing, your movements. So you will see me also looking up here, looking at you, checking that you're doing the moves quite well, and I'll even get us to sit in different positions and things so I can see your posture and alignment. So it's really, really good, so you can still self-isolate and do the class, and and keep safe, because it does sound like we're going to be in this a bit longer than we thought. So we really, if you need to get out and about and do some exercise, but you're not allowed, you're shielding, you're worried about going out, we've been told to stay in now, we're in lockdown, we don't know how long this is going to be for, and you're finding, I can see definitely the mobility in Daisy Haye has gone downhill, because we're not doing stuff, we're not going out. We used to mooch around the shops, we used to go for a walk around the park, and some of my people don't even want to do that. They're staying at home like they've been told to, and they're not even going out, because they can't walk around people on the pavements and things. They haven't got the physical ability to do that. So it is really important, if you can do something at home, if you can attach it to the TV or the phone, or a relative can help you, or your carer can help you, just set this up. And hopefully some relatives will see this on here and think, actually that'd be great for my mum. And it's that talking to someone definitely once a week, and they're actually talking, I log everyone on, I say hello, I check everyone, I ask them how they are, and that's maybe all they need from the class, is just someone talking to them and someone saying, hi, how are you? And then doing a bit of exercise, and they feel like, actually I'm not trapped, I'm not on my own. So it's a really good class to do for anyone that just wants to start off gently with the support of a chair, that feel unconfident to get on the floor. Tomorrow I'm hopefully going to do one about the floor as well, so you can see different things and what I do. So I do 2 classes for the chair. I do a Tuesday at 11 o'clock and a Thursday at 2:45. So if you are interested, the classes are £6 a class, because they're only 45 minutes. And just give us a message. We just need you to fill out a PARQ, that's a physical readiness, activity readiness questionnaire, and that's just a few questions about your health and things like that. And if you are having some sort of health conditions, we do a whole hour free consultation where I can discuss all your medical needs and make sure that the class is perfect for you. And I also do private classes as well, so if you wanted a one-to-one, which are £20, you can actually just have me for a few classes, so then you can get used to the class before you join, and that's absolutely fine as well. Well, I hope that's given you a little bit more information about my chair class, and I hope to see you on it soon. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.